Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to DreamHack Open 2015 here in Valencia, Spain. We are halfway through the quarterfinals. It has been one hell of a long day here in the DreamHack Open. We've had a couple long series, to say the least. We have 2 more quarterfinals to come up before we get into the semis. We already know that we're running out of our Terrans, Todd. This is the part where I'm supposed to complain, but you know, patience, you must be just cheering so hard for him right now.
You say it's been a long day, but we're just getting started. You realize that we're in quarterfinals number 3.
Yeah. We've had a lot of long games so far.
They have been long games, Todd. That last series went for days, man. Each game just went the distance till like one player ran out of resources.
I mean, thankfully, it was on the short side because Marine only went mech in the first game and he played bio for the rest of it. And actually, as much as we talked up his mech play, I think his bio play was more impressive there.
I agree. You know, he really went the distance with his bio. He was really pressing Curious. So maybe you should have used that in game 1 too. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think when we look at the way that the matches have played out so far today, we could definitely say that, you know, it wasn't outside the realm of our expectations for Curious to take out Marine Lord as much as we may have cheered for him. But still a bit surprising that Patience was able to knock out Fantasy. And when we look at the upcoming matches, now we have like this weird scenario where we have Patience going up against Curious, and we still have the potential for even pretty much any set of finals, really. We could have a ZvZ, we could even have a PvP. It's not outside the scope of possibility.
To be honest, I didn't get to talk about Curious against Marine Lord because I was neither casting or on the desk, but I thought that Curious was going to have a really good chance because of his style. You know, he likes to play standard, like he's very happy about taking it to the late game. And Marine Lord is not that super aggressive Terran that will do like a lot of big aggression. Like Wax was just saying, like for a guy named Marine Lord, his splits should be better. Did you really think I was not going to mention that?
It's true though, man. There are a few of those fights that he could take him easier. He may have taken game 4 that way.
Really mean.
Why are you saying it in such a nice way on camera, though? That's
Wax has been saving all the low blows for the off-stream content, unfortunately. But this next series. So let's talk about our next 2 players, right? We have HerO and True. I think HerO is we can pretty much compare him to Tasia in the sense that we haven't talked him up at all in this tournament. But he's someone that's always been a mainstay at DreamHack Open events. He's taken multiple championships in the regular Opens, winter championships as well in previous years. What are we looking at? Because he actually dropped a series to Marine Lord earlier in this tournament, who's no longer in it. Like, how good is his PvZ? Have we seen a lot of his PvZ?
Well, I believe he went through a couple of Zergs to actually get to where he is right now. So he's already done some damage, and they were Korean Zergs, I believe, as well. So he's, I think he's in a pretty good position in this best of 5.
I think I said last tournament he's the Bly of Korea, and he just does crazy stuff all the time and is very aggressive. And you never really know what's going to happen this kind of when he's around, especially with the new maps, which is kind of surprised he banned out some of the new maps.
Yeah.
So maybe he doesn't want to play that as aggressively. Maybe he wants to play more macro this time.
I would say that makes sense. We've seen some weird play from True before. Anything that mentions Bly just gets me so excited when I think about StarCraft II.
I bet it does, yeah.
We're going to be ready to hear from those next 2 players up on the main stage. It's mixed. It's going to be True versus HerO.
That's absolutely right, Nathanius. I'm excited to get these players on stage to hear their thoughts. Please welcome True and HerO. True, I've spoken to you quite a few times at many other DreamHacks. You've actually reached top 4 twice before at both Moscow and Tours, and now you have a chance to do it here in Valencia, Spain. You must be feeling incredibly greedy to get there. Tell us what you think yourself.
I have some secret problem. So I need to win this tournament. So I will be my best.
All right. Cheers from the crowd for that. And HerO, you are no stranger to DreamHack. In fact, you're a 2-time DreamHack champion. But the last time we saw you do well at a DreamHack was last year at DreamHack Summer, where you got 2nd place. And since then, I feel like we haven't seen you as much. With that being said, we all know what you're capable of. And now you have a chance to make it to the top 4 here in Valencia, Spain. So will we be able to see some magical HerO today?
My last tournament was about 5 months ago, and I missed it, and it's time to win.
All right, fair enough. Gentlemen, please shake hands. It's time to find out who our third semifinals will be. Will it be True or will it be HerO? We'll find out soon enough, but until then, let's head back to the desk with Nathanius.
Thank you very much, Smix. This match, of course, we'll be getting into it as soon as possible. But I want to ask, because we did talk about this with Tasia, and you know, two of the Liquid boys still alive in this bracket. Have we really been underestimating him? You know, the series against Lenok, but then you look at True's ZvP. Like how much can we really take out of True's ZvP when the only match that we saw him play on our stream at least was against Arium?
I think True's ZvP has always been one of his strongest matchups. So I think coming to this, he should be pretty confident. He's going to have a lot of interesting things to show us. As for HerO, you know, as he said, he hasn't been to a tournament in like 5 months. There's a reason behind that. That's because he hasn't been in the best of form. So, well, is he really going to have to show us again, like, what is he made of and how is he going to be playing this tournament? So he hasn't really been tested to that extreme yet.
I mean, HerO did beat players like Saksuri and Lenok in this tournament. And while True is really like a unique player, I would say, you know, if you had to pick some players who had similar styles, who can be aggressive and who can, you know, change things up, I would say Saksuri and Lenok are those players. So the fact that HerO went up against them and beat them says, you know, maybe he can play a safe kind of game, defend against all that kind of wacky stuff that True likes to do, and come out victorious.
I think based on the interview that we had with True yesterday, I'm very curious to know if a victory here in this match, or perhaps maybe he would want to get it later on, if he'll go for the slam dunk that he was talking about yesterday. Possibility.
I wonder what his secret problem he's talking about is.
Secret problems, man. They motivate you.
I mean, it can't be that Protoss is inbound, because that's not a secret.
I don't know. You got all this pressure on you. You know, you one day it's like, okay, it's like I have to go. You tell your girlfriend I go beat up on a bunch of Protoss. It's like, well, if you lose to Protoss, then you know then it's over, right? That could be a secret problem, I guess.
It could be anything. I mean, look at me. I came out of the closet. I said that
You've
I play
got
Heroes
plenty
of
secret problems.
I play Heroes of the Storm. Look what happened. Everybody's making fun of me. Maybe he's been trying other games and
oh man,
he doesn't dare to talk
he needs
about
to prove himself. Is StarCraft. That's
yeah.
There's so many things that can really come up, and in a best of 5 against someone like HerO, we know HerO's the kind of guy who likes to do fancy stuff as well. So we look at it's like True. We can't rule out the possibility of some really crazy builds coming out of him either. So neither of these guys, you know, can necessarily guarantee to play standard every game either.
I do feel like HerO, because the stream game we had of him yesterday was his loss against Marine Lord, and in that game he made a lot of mistakes. He played poorly, but I don't think that was like representative of how he's playing lately. He's been playing well in Pro League. Maybe he hasn't been been seen in foreign tournaments for a long time, but I think he's I think we're not giving enough credit.
All right. Any other final thoughts before we get into this series? Anything in particular that you guys have noticed of these guys' plays over the last few months?
I think with HerO, you know, he's like one of the guys that always was considered very high up there in terms of PvZ, but that was a very long time ago. The meta was very different. You know, Swamo's changed since then. He's a very multitask-heavy player who likes to do, you know, a lot of harassment here and there. In the current meta, unless True tries to, say, for example, play Roach Hydra and then go to Brood Lords later, and then the game, you know, kind of gets stale for a moment, I don't think this is going to come into play nearly as much from HerO. So kind of like Wax pointed out, as much as, you know, Lenok and Saksuri are guys that will mix it up a lot, do a lot of different builds, I feel like if True here, he just plays a super solid macro game up against HerO, even though HerO is good in macro games himself, it's probably going to be his better chance to do well against HerO.
You think he'll really do that, though? It's True, man. He doesn't do that.
I think True's probably spoken to Saksuri and Lenok by now. It's like, what happened in those games? And he probably has a fair idea.
We got Protoss.
We got Protoss most likely, but how? HerO's always had his own style, that's for sure, and he's probably been doing something quite often that True can be ready for. Kind of like how True was ready for Arium when he busted out that one base immortal. He knew it was coming.
That wasn't even so much like a planned counter as like that's just True being True. He's making a lot of speedlings and killing people.
Yeah, he'll do that regardless. It doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah, being very active on the map. And I think another cool thing to consider is that as we've started to wind down this tournament, we have the potential for the classic Tasia versus HerO team kill that happens at almost every DreamHack that these guys actually play.
It's happening way too late this time, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty late. It's pretty late in the tournament. but that as a possible semifinal. And then we're even still looking at Dead Pixels, who have had a really good showing in this tournament so far. They could even have a team kill in the grand final. Do you think that like comes into like weighs into how they look at this, or it's at least feel good for the teams?
Definitely good for the teams. I mean, it's very possible. I'm not sure. I don't know how far HerO or HerO will go. Like these two players that just haven't shown anything in a while, and they finally made it out to Valencia. So I'm still sitting on the fence with those guys. We've got to wait and see what they can do in these quarterfinals.
It seems like a lot of the players on the right side of the bracket haven't been tested as much. I guess aside from True's been playing more so in Korea lately. But, well, guys, we're ready to get into the next match. It's going to be True versus HerO, brought to you by Todd and Moonglade.
Welcome back, guys. That was a very short intermission here. So True versus HerO here, PvZ. I play Protoss, you play Zerg.
I do.
It's going to be a rivalry between them, but between us two. I'm sure we're going to be exchanging some very special moments, you and I, during this series.
I have that feeling as well, Todd.
How do you feel right now, actually, about PvZ with the meta and everything?
Well, I feel like the moment, the Swarmos nerf came in and things got a little bit harder, it was kind of like, I looked at it and I was like running into a brick wall a lot of the time, especially with Blink, Stalker, Sentry. That came to be the meta for the longest amount of time, for the last like few months. And then it's finally starting to change a bit now. But as we talk about this, looks like we have the introductions, Todd. In the top right of the map, we do have the red Zerg player, True. 4 Dead Pixels, very unique ZvP style. And in the bottom left here, we do have the blue Protoss player. It is Liquid HerO. Finally back on that international circuit. How are you feeling about the PvZ of today, Todd?
Honestly, like HerO, it seems like he's coming back on form, really. Like I didn't particularly expect that. I'm one of the, I guess, the doubters of HerO. Yeah, because for the longest time, I mean, he used to be a world-class player and a title contender in any tournament he entered, but as of late, we haven't seen much of him. So I really thought, and I mean, the tournaments that we saw him in before that, it really wasn't that impressive. So
yeah, I completely agree with you. Like he showed us one piece of brilliance in GSL not too long ago, which kind of like raised my eyebrow, like, oh, here's actually he's a bit more informed than I expected him to be in. But since then, we haven't seen him again for quite a while.
It seems like he's really coming back in full force here, but not quite there just yet. I don't think too many people would be surprised though if he won, because again, he used to be a title contender, and as much as we haven't seen that much of him, I'm sure he's still living in Korea, he's practicing very hard over there, so.
Yeah, that is true. And same time, I mean,
do you think that True, he's kind of like long overdue for a big win in a tournament?
I don't know. That's another good question, because True, he was looking so good back when he was on his Casper team. Like he was getting a lot of points in Pro League. He was showing some really inspirational ZvP play.
Yeah.
But since then, like he joined Dead Pixels, he found a lot more freedom, so he got to do a lot more things, and we didn't see the same level of success. Maybe this tournament he'll prove us wrong and actually change things up. It seems like he's got a secret problem, Todd, so maybe that's what he needs to actually get the job done and finally win. I'd love to see him win it, but seeing his play time and time again makes me question, can he do it?
He really shouldn't have said that, by the way.
It's so weird, man.
He's gonna get people gossiping nonstop.
Well, I don't even know what the secret problem is.
A few PIs have already been hired around the world and are investigating about it.
Well, hopefully he'll tell us his secret problem if he wins the tournament. How about that?
I mean, if it's secret, he can't.
Well, maybe the problem is gone once he wins. They never know these things.
HerO, one of the things about him that I've always liked about his PvZ is how aggressive he plays. He never sits back. He's always trying to make something happen, be it with a few units early on, a Stargate, a War Prism, some kind of attack here and there. And at the same time, at least most of the time, he's going to be macroing, taking more bases. Very rarely you're going to see him do stuff like, you'd see Protosses like Sandu, where he first harasses and go into the 2-base all-in. So if he was to go for something like that here, it's cross-map. True, honestly, like I don't think he has this image of like big, macro game that plays super well in the late game, but I've seen him pull it off very nicely in the past. I've seen him, make Ultras against Protoss and make it work at times.
I think he might even be forced in that kind of situation in this kind of map. At the same time, HerO might be forced into maybe a bit more of a 2-base play. Maybe he's going to be going for... it's so much harder on this map to go for 3 bases as a Protoss player. So I feel like a lot of them are pressured to do something earlier. And it's so hard because it is cross-map like this.
Yeah. Even the traditional Roach Hydra quite deadly here,
Absolutely.
Force fields wise, you need to be on points. HerO definitely one of these guys though. Like once upon a time, he was definitely, I'd say, as high as top 3 force fields in the world. Now there's quite a few good Protosses. It's very hard to say. Like some of them are very consistent with it, but definitely can pull them off. So even if at some point he's really far behind, as long as he has some sentries to work with, and doesn't completely mess up here and there.
But even with force fields, look how wide the bases are, outside the 3rd and 4th and outside the natural there, as Funkus shows us. It's absolutely insane. You need 4 or 5 force fields to kind of keep your army alive, and then you got to recast them if there's enough Roach Hydra left over. And even at Viper's Blinding Cloud, it means you got to re-force field again. So there's so many horrible situations you can be in, and that Overlord. So close to finding. He saw the edge of it, but I don't think
he had time to click. Yeah, but this time he will though. And this is a big tell here. HerO opening for some sentries. He made the Stalker and the Zealot, but he's still getting sentries right now. And that quick robo. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a War Prism. He's going to add on some gateways and do some harassments. While either, he's going to do both probably. Take a 3rd base. And this is again going back to what I was talking about earlier. His style. This is how he loves to play.
Yeah, we've seen him time and time again go for these War Prisms and harassments. He could even go for, he's adding 5 gateways, mind you, so maybe he's going for a little bit more than harassment right now. Oh, man.
A little bit more, yeah.
Just a slight touch more, adding 6 gateways. So, yeah, he's going to be trying to end the game here. Not a bad choice against someone like True, who is known to just simply invest in fast slings and nothing else.
He's going to have to do a lot of damage, that's for sure. If he... say he doesn't kill that 3rd base and then True barely holds on, then True's gonna be okay. HerO at least needs to wipe out that 3rd base. And then even if he doesn't win, as long as he takes it out, the hatchery and most of the drones, I think he has enough probes himself to transition possibly. But 60 walkers to 42, this is gonna have to do a lot of damage here, and he's massively committed to this.
Yeah, well, still a while away from +1 as well, so these Lings are gonna have at least some time to do damage to the army that gets dropped or warped in. Now Roaches are on the way too, so it's kind of like True. Looks like he wants to be aggressive here, but it's going to work out just the same. He's going to scout no 3rd base and be like, okay, I can defend this now with the number of Roaches.
True cannot underestimate this here. If he starts thinking that there could be a 3rd base and there's going to be a transition, the thing is he hasn't seen all of the gateways, so...
That is true.
He needs to keep on making exclusively units. He's got Link speed and Roach speed just started here. So far, it's looking pretty okay. 62 army supply to 27. Those force fields are going to have to be better than just good.
Yeah, they're going to have to be amazing. Not many force fields either, so he's got to be very careful with that. Another huge warp in of Stalkers, and that should really even it up. Not too many Roaches just yet.
And this is, by the way, there is no Mothership Core here. If HerO loses all of this, he's going to be in so much trouble.
Yeah, there's no escape. It's essentially completely all in here. He's got to make it work. Nice force fields on the ramp there. Getting at least a few Roaches down.
Yeah, I think True needs to try to be as patient as possible and then come in from behind, swoop in with a bunch of Linger and Roaches and attack from 2 sides. But he needs to wait for Roach speed if he can, because then the reinforcements will come in much faster. Look at this, how HerO has caught up on the army supply. 51 to 76, some more good force fields here.
Yeah, good force fields, but just not many of them, which is a big problem.
Not enough.
Roaches simply just move on by them, and now HerO's in a horrible place. He's half the supply. He's only got Stalkers left over.
He starts pro production, level 1 ground armor as well as the Twilight. So no robo. If he was to go into a 3rd base here, and True goes for tunneling claws right after road speeds, he's gonna be in trouble, and an Immortal starts.
Yeah, so it looks like it's gonna be that Immortal follow-up, but he's just playing so far from behind. He is down 70 supply right now, and this counterattack could very well just kill him.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough here. You need a lot of sentries to actually hold this properly. He's got a single one here so far. Remember, Roach speed is up here. You can't even force field against this. You need to wait for the Roaches to come in, but they're not. They're just gonna snipe the entire wall. That force probably gonna go down.
That's a huge kill too. Stopping that +1 upgrade on the armor.
Denied.
Now he's going to work on that gateway, just completely open it up, and there's not going to be enough force fields here. as we can see, 2 force fields go down, the roaches get out.
I think the best choice for True is either to go for Hydras or Spire, and he chooses to go for the Spire here. I guess he wants to shut down that War Prism with Mutas. He knows that on the ground he's not going to have enough with just pure roaches and links anyway.
Yeah,
I think it's okay.
Certainly doesn't seem like he wants to just end the game right here and right now. He's bringing a lot of lings across the map, starting to save up that gas for the Muta switch. HerO in a horrible place right now.
Yeah.
That army is just simply too small.
True needs to be careful not to get force fielded here, otherwise he'd lose a lot of this and then he would be exposed to a counter attack. He's got a lot. Blink is on the way, +2 is going to start. HerO's going to turtle on 2 bases because he has no choice, and a 4th base is now on the way here for True. And since he's making a lot of links, he's going to have a lot of gas to start a lot of Mutas immediately when the Spire finishes,
Yeah,
which
exactly.
HerO has no idea about.
He has no idea. I mean, sometimes a lot of links coming across the map is like a little bit of a hint that maybe he's planning to save the gas for something else, and naturally that is going to be the Muta switch. This Immortal drop actually could get something done there. This 4th base should get cancelled because there's nothing nearby to help out.
Mutas are going to start now though, and I can already see a dead Prism and Immortals.
Oh yeah, this Prism and Immortals are going to go down. He's not going to even go for that hatchery. Maybe a little bit of a mistake there. Thinking about the main, but now he's going to warp in.
He's taking his time. I thought he was going to drop the Immortals in the main and send the Zealots in that base, but I guess he just wants to get the snipe on this. HerO must know that there's either Hydralisk or Mutas on the way, but somehow he's still staying across the map. The Desperation Dark Shrine starts.
Desperation Dark Shrine, I like that. Mutas are now found where this War Prism is. He's going to warp in again, and it's going to be a sentry, cancel the last second, and these Immortals are going to have to try and find damage somewhere before they go down to Mutas.
Oh, even the Observer actually gets spotted here.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to do absolutely no economic damage. 53 drones to 46 probes. True is happy to take this out here. And HerO is in an impossible situation right now. He has to face Muta, so he's going to have to play super defensive. True's going to expand all over the place. Taking a 3rd base is kind of out of the question for HerO.
Yeah, certainly so. It looks like he just plans to move across the map and try go for one last attack. But look at the army of True right now.
Oh, the positioning from HerO is really good. Like here, hugging the wall, but as soon as he moves out, the roaches get force fielded away, actually, most of them.
Yeah, that was actually beautiful force field. Still actually force fielded away, but there's simply too many lings and Mutas behind this, and there's not enough Stalkers.
Yeah, they're going to get through. Too many force fields were needed. And True takes a very solid first map win here on Iron Fortress.
Yeah, completely deflecting it. I think a little unlucky that HerO was cross-map like he was. Everything took a little bit longer getting that War Prism across the map. And even Dan just not really enough sentries to kind of back up that all-in.
That's massively got shut down, man. It looks like one of my games trying this.
And it was kind of not intentional either. Like True was... looked like he really wanted to try cancel a 3rd base and try and apply the pressure there, but it just happened to be that there was an all-in coming his way.
The roaches outnumber the Stalkers 3-1, Moon.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Sometimes we force field the Immortals, like it's not so bad, but not this time.
Not this time. Well,
to be honest, like at first, he was doing pretty okay. HerO, like he force fielded a bunch of roaches, but I think he should have realized pretty quickly that this wasn't going to work. And then I think that if he pulled back and played the defensive, went for a 3rd base and made Immortals, he might have been okay. But like committing to the aggression when you see the Zergs already making units and it's not going to stop.
The normal thing you'd probably see in that situation as well is is that you'd see
I'm good. Leave my booth.
Yeah, get out of here, man. You'd see a War Prism drop while he gets +1 and a bunch of gateway units and go for that 3rd base and Immortals behind that, which makes a lot more sense, or even an Immortal all-in, but maybe not from those positions.
Yeah,
So-
that was really nice handle here by True. Definitely the proper defense. HerO, though, he's going to have to mix it up a little bit more. Maybe try to play a little bit of a longer game if he wants to have a better chance, because if this happens again, he's down 2 games.
Yeah, and that's the worst place you want to be in a best of 5. Next map is going to be Coda as well. So not a bad map for HerO by any means.
Yeah. 3rd base, Baguette Protoss. You know about that?
No, I don't.
Baguette Protoss is you make lots of sentries and blink stalkers.
Oh,
basically,
I see.
it's kind of standard, but we stole the name.
That's great. I love that. Well, here we go into the 2nd map, and in the top left here, we do have the red Zerg player up a game. His name is True. Zerg OP. I don't know about that. I'm on the fence about that one. But down here in the bottom right, the blue Protoss player, he is Liquid HerO.
with a very unsuccessful attempt in the first map.
I think that's only the beginning of the early sort of attempts at killing True. We're going to see here. He generally is a pretty aggressive Protoss player. I'd say more than most.
Yeah.
I think he also shines in the early to mid game like a lot more than the late game. He really seems to drop off a lot.
The thing is, in PvZ as of late, it really feels like the flow of the game really depends on the opener. Like if you're able to get a good opener, then a lot of the time you're going to be able to do well in the mid to late game. Like very rarely do you see someone have a very good opener and then end up losing. So it's very important to get into your opponent's head and you know, kind of get lucky, you know, sometimes with build orders, which definitely, I mean, luck wasn't on HerO's side in the previous map.
Yeah, it was indeed unlucky. Positions more than anything else. True, as True does, goes for that early drone scout again. Starts to harass a little bit.
What do you think about the Korean players that were on KSPA teams and aren't anymore, and some of them do super well, like Rain?
It's interesting. I think it's pretty rare there. Like Rain is one of those few. I mean, we also saw Sulky try that, but he just never really had that much success. I think some players are more beneficial on KSPA teams compared to others, like Innovation, for instance. You know, he went to a foreign team and he just didn't have the structure, I guess, he needs to really perform like a robot, like he does in the KSPA team.
So do you think True is one of those guys?
It's hard to say.
Possibly.
Like, I don't want to speak badly about him at all, and I don't get to see him that often because he doesn't really play that much in Korea. But so far, he's made it to the round of 8, so it's a good start for True, and he's already up a game here. He was like my favorite player when I got to cast him in Korea as well. Like, I love.
So he's not anymore? He's gonna be heartbroken if you watch this video. You're a monster.
I'm sorry, man. Stu is taking his place.
All right, fair enough though. Stu's pretty good. I like this opener here by HerO. You know, skipping on the gas, just going for Gateway Nexus. It's a build that's, you know, it's very economic, but at the same time, since you get the gateway, especially at the ramp, you're going to be safe against any kind of Zergling rush, which I think True is definitely capable of pulling off.
Oh, look at this.
And he wants to cannon the third base. This is typical HerO, but I mean, True kind of knows about it.
Yeah, he knows about it for sure, but I think
He's going to close it.
Too late. He's got to close it.
Oh,
he's not going to
not.
close it. He has a second place to do it, and he's going to commit to it.
Oh, he's going to close it on the other side. Or not.
Oh, what is going on here?
What the hell is happening? This is bad.
This is not good at all. He's not going to get it. Drones go for a surround. Barely.
I mean, True is losing a little bit of mining time with this, but he's going to kill a probe. 2 pylons were cancelled. That's 50 minerals lost here for HerO.
Oh man, I don't know what went on there, because he could have. I thought he was going to throw down a pylon on the other side, just completely block off his probe, but it's also going to stop the drones getting in. Then he throws down the cannon.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was a weird.
I think he wanted to wall on the left-hand side, but probably didn't have the minerals.
Yeah, I think that must have been it. But then he went for a triple wall, which was even worse.
It went from bad to worse.
It really did. It literally did. We did see that early force, so maybe he's going to make use of it anyway. Maybe get a +1 attack and try something on the map, or just go for a third.
Yeah. Just getting 100 gas now for that if he was to try and start it now. Maybe saving that for a sentry or a Stargate. Look, 144 gas here for HerO. And Robo's going to go down.
Robo it is. Lings might scout this out nice and early there.
Wow, there's no cannon.
There's nothing here. There's not even a block. And this is not a good start to game 2 for HerO.
What's happening, Moonglade?
I think he's falling apart. I think all his plans have become ash, and now I'm gonna try and kill a Zealot, but
losing some mining time here. This is not good.
I think he's gonna lose a Zealot. He's gonna lose a Zealot, and that is so tilting. HerO must be so tilted right now.
Yeah.
You know how he gets. He's a very emotional player.
Yeah, that gas is still up in his base too. Definitely gonna wanna work on that soon here. He didn't start a sentry, did he, out of his gateway?
I don't think so, not yet.
Because of all that was happening, actually, I think that's the reason. No +1 on the way. The mothership core had to finish the gas here.
It's going to be an immortal by the looks of things.
Wow.
So he's going to be a 4-gate immortal all-in?
He's supposed to be getting sentries if it's an immortal all-in.
Yeah, right?
Because immortal all-in without sentries, I mean...
Unless he's going to like just do that very sort of Zealot-heavy style.
Yeah, but you need +1, I think you should do that.
Yeah, at least +1, right?
Well, he's going to do it without +1.
All right, this is HerO's style, so let's see what he can do. Actually, 1 Immortal and a War Prism.
The Roach Warren starts now, and there is already a War Prism on the way. If HerO goes straight away and it's only Lynx, and he has 7 gates to reinforce with a ton of Zealots with and 1 Immortal, he might be able to do pretty well, to be honest.
Yeah, this could certainly do enough. We are seeing 16 Lynx come out currently, and it kind of looks exactly like last game from what True is doing. Just going to maybe invest into 8 Roaches the moment that Roach Warren finishes, and from there maybe apply the pressure to the third or defend it all in, perhaps by chance.
There's going to be quite a bit of energy on the Mothership Core as well. At least 1 time warp with the second one later on available. I'm guessing Observer is on the way now. And he's moving out. This should be revealed. I think there's an Overlord here on the right-hand side.
Overlord.
That's a massive tail.
Yeah, that is huge. Lynx are looking for something on the map. See that Stalker. Oh, just misses the War Prism there.
He's going to break the rocks. He's bringing a probe. He's got a Prism. Oh, I guess you want to make the pylon so that the War Prism can focus entirely on picking up units and saving them.
Yeah, saving that
Whoa!
Immortal. Ooh, trying to surround that Stalker. That'd also be a pretty big hit. Lynx speed about to finish as well. Supply blocks for a little bit longer, but Roaches are already on the way. So
just 5 of them, though.
5 of them for now. And look,
58 army supply. Oh, no, he already had a few. Okay, no. This is looking okay, I think, for True. Like, he should have enough. If he swoops in from behind with the Lynx. Time warp available, remember here. HerO's actually going to warp in a lot of Stalkers, so he's going to commit to the fight here immediately, and he wants to win right now.
Well, that is a huge time warp as well, but there's no force fields to kind of stop these Roaches from retreating either.
Yeah, the Lynx coming from behind. So far, it's going pretty well for True. The Immortal is going to be picked up. There is 2 Stalkers in there as well, still alive, but he needs to pick them up. And True has defended beautifully here once again. 63 army supply to 13. HerO getting completely shut down here for the 2nd time in a row.
What is going on, Todd? How is this happening again? How it's like completely foiled. It was kind of so obvious as well that it was going to happen. It got scouted out and just had no traction behind it whatsoever.
Well, I mean, the gateways didn't get scouted out. Maybe he was kind of counting on True to go for a lot of drones, in which case you do kill the Zerg.
Yeah, that is true. But it is True after all as well, who is never going to just make drones. He's no sulky, he's no super greedy, curious perhaps, like kind of Zerg. He's going to like get out all these Lings and then Roaches in due time.
I think True can just get in there and try and finish it here. It's going to go right past this unpowered Cybercore here, targeting the Immortal. You can pick up as much as you want, HerO. There's going to be so much. GG gets called, and True goes up 2-0 here in this quarterfinal.
Man.
After we had 2 very close series. It's like, I don't have any time to waste.
Very one-sided so far. It seems True just knows exactly what's going on with here, and he's making this look incredibly one-sided.
Where's that sign we had in the audience earlier?
I don't know.
These guys knew.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
That'd be the 2nd Zerg in the semi, by the way.
That's fantastic.
Just saying.
That's fantastic for me, man. I'm loving this. I just want to see a ZvP final. That's all I want. That just makes me happy.
You know what? You might be the only one.
I think I am the only one. I think that actually destroys the tournament.
We've seen some good ZvPs, like I mean,
Sure, yeah,
between 2 very good players, like it's always nice, but
yeah, of course.
For the sake of entertainment, let's hope it's not a mirror, though.
Yeah, I agree completely. Any mirrors, except maybe TVT, is not as fun.
I really wonder why HerO is playing like this. Maybe it's a meta game thing. You know, they've played recently, and
maybe
True was like building up his image. He was like rushing to 80 drones and dying every game, or like pulling it off.
It could be, man. Maybe they practiced before the tournament and he just threw games like that, or maybe HerO is doing exactly what he was doing against Saxri and Lenok before coming up against True, and True knows all about it now. He's like, okay, he's going to go for this build. He's going to go for this build on these maps. I just have to make sure I make Lings and Roaches in time, and I win the game.
Made it look super easy here, definitely in the first 2 maps. We're now going to be playing on Cactus Valley, a 4-players map where a cross map is a possibility.
Yeah, this could be a very good position for True once again.
Is it time for the 7 gates? 5 minutes shutdown?
It might be. He might have to do that because...
I hope not for HerO.
No, I'd like to see him go a little bit later with 3 bases. Let's see 3 bases, because I think that could be like a weakness of True as well.
HerO's so good in macro game. Anyway, let's jump into the game here. We're on Cactus Valley again.
We're on Cactus Valley. Down here in the bottom left, this player is 1 game away from reaching the semifinals. It is True. And up here in the top left, we do have the Protoss player has to win 3 in a row to make it to those semis. It is Liquid's HerO.
The struggle has been real so far for HerO in this quarterfinals.
And I think a lot of it has to do with himself, you know, finding what he wants to do. His strategies have not been sound, his build orders. That cannon rush after the gateway, just not happening.
Yeah.
It's such a weird sort of idea.
What exactly? You went for pylon down the ramp, yeah, okay. Maybe a tilt forge.
A tilt forge. Maybe going for another cannon rush.
Personally, I find it so annoying when a drone like this scouts me every game. Like, as much as you lose some minerals, it's like, I'm in your base and I know what you're doing. There's no way you're going to surprise me early on. So it's really smart by True to do this.
And then sometimes they can just throw down that hatchery.
And he was going to go down for the forge.
Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, I'm not going to block it there.
I see your forge. Why are you doing forge?
Yeah, well,
why are you attacking me? You can't kill me.
There's so many things wrong with this Tud. And look at that, he's going to stick around.
Pull first because of this.
Yeah, this gives True all the information he'll ever need to go up to 3 bases comfortably and avoid any sort of cannon rush.
HerO is actually scouting with 1 probe. He has 2 probes down the ramp. He's chasing that drone. What is he doing?
Hey man, you're gonna be scared of those proxy hatcheries, no matter what.
I don't know that this is the case. I think maybe he was gonna go for like another scout. I don't know, maybe he just misclicked and lost track of it. It's not supposed to happen here.
Maybe he's just really paranoid that this thing's gonna happen with, you know, like, it's gonna delay that Nexus for as long as possible.
Since he got scouted so early, maybe he thought this is some kind of fling rush.
Maybe, that is also a possibility, right?
Now HerO does see on the bottom left-hand side that True went for pull first. Still does not have a gas.
Gonna go for extract, he does.
Oh my god.
Keeps it alive for a little bit longer.
Make like 5 cannons there to make an example of that drone. Like this is not just the tilt force. It's
I think
time
that's
for
the
the tilt
last
cannons.
thing HerO needs right now is to be making cannons where they're not necessary.
That drone's even gonna escape. What a hero.
Yeah, he gets out here alive. Scouts no cannon just yet either, but unfortunately no lings to really punish him for that.
It's like so obvious too. Like, you don't cannon. Don't do it, HerO. Don't do it. Please.
It's like almost like True is baiting him to do it. It's like, yeah, just do it. It's fine. Nothing will happen.
Double hatch here behind the initial pull from True. He's gonna go for a gas here. Just a single one by the look of things.
He's thinking about it. Yeah, there we go.
Double actually gas.
Lings get in. Uh-oh.
It's okay, it's okay. We're back.
It's
We're
so
back.
good. Everything is fine.
Links are in the main. Probes are gonna be pulled here for a moment. And this is gonna be super annoying here for quite some time because no units are gonna be made from HerO here for a long time. Like, he wants to, he didn't start his Cybercore, I think, yet. Here we go, yeah, so he can finally start a Zealot behind this, but it starts only now, and he's gonna come out from that gateway that's at the natural, so those links gonna be so annoying.
Haven't got any kills just yet though, so for now it's okay, but they're gonna get all the scouting they need, which is another thing. And True, behind this, he just has all the information he'll ever need to play a normal game from here.
This is ideal too, because he's playing against a Forge opener. He can drone up as much as he wants to for a very long time.
I gotta say, as a Zerg player, like, Forge openings make me so happy.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, like, I have all the time in the world to drone up these 3 bases or look for any sort of all-in that might make me have to drone up half my 3rd base.
It's definitely gonna be good for True here, and we've seen before with just, I guess, standard openers, how well they could do already in terms of unit production and defense. So this time I don't even want to imagine. Finally gets a snipe on the probe. The tilt is increasing, man. Stargates.
I can see that meter inside HerO's head just getting higher and higher. All right, maybe this proxy Stargate can get something done.
A single one. And since he went for a Stalker and Warp Gate, I'm guessing there's not going to be a second one. It's actually like a build that we saw in the past at times on like Metal opponents, like the double Stargate with like Void Rays. Like
fantastic.
But I'm guessing this time not going to be the case. Sentry starting behind this, which actually means he's not going to have the gas for an Oracle here very soon.
It's going to be close, right?
I guess, yeah, he can wait.
He's got that 3rd gas as well.
Yeah, okay. He's going to have enough.
But still, you know, it's going to really catch out True because he has no idea this is coming. It's very close by.
Can he warp in with the pylon down there? No, actually, no. He can't warp like down that ramp.
No.
Because otherwise, I think he would have dropped at least 3 more gates and then done some big aggression.
That would have been actually really powerful.
Which, to be honest, he might still do.
He could still very well do it. Let's see how many gateways goes down here.
3 for now.
3 for now.
If it's more,
If it
I'm going to be really worried for HerO.
Could just be a third base behind this too.
Yeah.
It's not too much of an investment.
He needs to start a robo very soon if he wants to do that though. Start his +1 as well. Like +1 is really delayed with this.
He needs his +1 if he wants to take
All
that.
right, how many
third.
drone kills?
I'm gonna guess 4.
That's it.
Well, okay, now because he ran him so far away, I'm gonna say 5.
I don't think you quite understand the power of the Oracle.
I
man.
guess not, but this Oracle nearly died.
Yeah.
6 drone kills. Okay, one
Yeah,
extra.
you were closer. I overestimate the power.
How many did you think?
8, man.
Oh,
That's it.
what? That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he messed up. Come on.
I didn't know about that. Maybe 8 this time around. He's certainly gonna get maybe
Here
another
comes his
4 or
brother.
5.
Gonna be getting some more kills here, and this time he didn't move badly. Oh my God, that's 6 more, at least 7.
Oh, that's a lot. But you know, it's also another Oracle on the verge of death, like 1 shot away.
He's getting the 3rd one.
Wow.
And
We need
+1 now starts.
Where are the Spore Crawlers?
He's trying to play without them.
He doesn't want to play Spore Crawlers. He's like, you know what? I don't need it. I just need more drones. But he's making
To be
extra
honest,
queens.
it's 60 drones to 47 probes, so it's like you kill 13 drones, 25 more come out.
Exactly it.
Which, to be honest, if HerO had followed this up with like the 4-gate aggression from that pylon bottom
Could have
right
just
hand
won
side,
the
yeah.
game.
Yeah, he could have killed a lot at least on that base.
Now he's going to kill the
Where's
queen.
the spores?
Yeah, see, if he made spores, he'd be quite okay at this point. Drew is a little overconfident this game, perhaps.
Oh, that Oracle here getting targeted down. It's very low. A 4th one comes in.
Oh, that's a lot of Oracles as well. Maybe a little too much from here. He's got to really find some critical damage. I guess he's already killed a ton of drones, but...
Oh, there's 2 queens. Can't go in there. Gonna be headed for natural. The queen from the 3rd base. Moving back in position to try and defend against this. Oh, it was actually the one.
Man.
Oh.
How many times is going to happen? These Oracles doing way too much. A huge Link counterattack coming across the map there. And it could get something done because +1 isn't finished yet.
Actually, if he gets a cancel here, this is a massively...
He kind of evens the game up, right?
Oh my
Look at how many
God.
force fields there are. That
Velots
shouldn't-
were warped in...
Oh, the force field's just out of position here.
Oh, it gets... Oh, there was a cancel
That
at
was
least,
so
but I mean...
close.
Getting a cancel on that Nexus here, definitely a big deal. Lair finally starts at minutes almost 11. That used to be the
Distracted.
time where Brood Lords were being morphed in Wings of Liberty.
The good old days. I miss those days, Todd.
And,
1-1 for the Lynx as well.
Yeah, what do you make of this?
Well, this is kind of weird because he went for 1-1 Lynx against 4 Oracles as well, you know. It's they're not going to have too much of a sort of a presence on the map if he's defending with these Oracles. Like, they're just going to get annihilated. So,
Yeah.
Does he want to go later? Is he going to go into Roaches from here? Does he want to go even later than that into Ultras?
Getting a lot of links, 30 more. Already being on 70 drones here, true. He's going to be playing that Ling heavy style. Maybe because there were so many Oracles, he thinks he's going to be a Stargate, like many Stargate follow-ups, so he wants to go into something like, say, like Infestors and Queens.
Yeah, I think Infestors would probably be his next choice here, right? This
The
many
lack
Lynx.
of Overseer scouting is a little bit disturbing. What did True see so far?
He's going up the top
Not
left.
much.
Not much at all. He's just kind of assuming everything that's happening right now, making just insane amount of Lings. And
The
2-2
thing
on
is,
the way.
HerO went Blink. If HerO knew that this is mass links with upgrades like this, I think he'd go for a charge, he'd drop down the Templar Archive, and he would go for an attack.
Well, either way, you know, there's 4 Oracles sitting there above the army that can just annihilate every single Zergling as well. So I think he's okay,
The
but-
sentries get caught from behind here, and they're
no.
gonna get surrounded and sniped.
It's not even a single force field either. That's going to make it a little bit easier, but a Roach Warren only going down now. Huge amounts of units going down from these Lings.
Blink wasn't finished yet. I think HerO's starting to realize that this is a mass link style. Blink completed, but I mean, he's gonna have what?
Look at this.
12 Stalkers against 102 links?
Yeah, a lot of Queens out too, which is going to help against the Oracles. But just pure Lings against this kind of army composition isn't that easy despite the upgrades.
Well, what's the unit count in terms of Stalkers to links?
9 Stalkers, 78 Lings. But there is a lot of Zealots as well. And here we go, a big fight outside is a lot of Lings
The
from
Oracle's
behind
actually
as
doing
well.
pretty good.
Yeah, they're wiping out the Lings from behind.
No, HerO. He's doing it. 72 army supply to 44. Just pure links with 2-2 on the way. Not gonna finish on time. Every link, single link has died. He was 79 links. He's lost almost all of them.
Never really a good composition, especially against this kind of timing, and especially against this amount of Oracles. Just annihilating them all so quickly. True is in so much trouble right now.
Yeah, down to his last few units here. He's trying to pump out as many links as he can. The 2-2 still didn't get cancelled. He's hoping that this will finish, but I mean, with no Spore here, this Oracle still doing some more damage. 4 skills around the army. And HerO doubles the supply of True here. And he's gonna bring it back. GG.
HerO on his way back. A much slower paced game this time around, and it's exactly what he needed. Doing so much damage with those Oracles as well.
But there we go, he knows what to do. 4 Oracles into Blink all in against Mass Lings.
That's all you need to do against True, because he's going to Mass Lings. And skip Roach Warren, apparently.
True being up 2 maps, I think it's okay to try something like this. But now he didn't succeed. It's time to go back to a more normal play with Roach Warren and study those melee upgrades.
I mean, even a safety Roach Warren, you didn't necessarily have to make them, but having one is such a small investment for a lot of peace of mind.
Better safe than sorry, Moonglaze.
Better safe than sorry, Todd.
You always get your Roach Warren, don't you?
Always.
Good to know. I'm never going to go for a Zealot attack against you.
You can try, but I'd like you
I'm
to
not
try.
going to do it. That's the thing, because you told me.
Well, hey, there's a mind game right there. Maybe I don't at all. Maybe I go 2 base meters and you have no idea what's going on.
Okay,
Yeah.
well done.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Well done.
That's how you play the game, Todd.
That was good here, finally, from HerO. That proxy target here, we thought maybe a little bit of a tilt. You know, there was links in his base, but in the end, he defended okay. Went for the 3rd base, and even though it got cancelled, I guess he did kill a bunch of links for that, and in the end, the force fields reigned supreme once again.
They did fantastic work. I mean, that's the problem with going pure Mass Lings. Even with upgrades like they had, if there's decent force fields, they're just going to get made redundant.
I think the problem is that True really wanted to start 2-2 before getting Infestors. Imagine if he hadn't spent that gas into 2-2, made Pathogen Glance immediately, and pumped out like 8 Infestors.
That would have been powerful.
That would have been the opposite this fight.
Yeah, they would have been stuck there in Spinecrawler range, just getting annihilated. So, yeah, just a little unprepared True was.
And no Overseer. He didn't send any Overseer, did he?
He didn't scout at all, man. He didn't have any scouting at all.
These
He was
Zergs, man.
so overconfident because I guess he just really wanted to go for that Ling Infestor style. It's kind of interesting. Personally, I would have added a Roach Warren or even a Hydralisk Den if I saw that many Oracles, because Lings are just never going to get the job done.
Yeah. It feels like he probably thought that the attack would come like, I don't know, like 2 minutes or 3 minutes later, and then by this time, he'd have 2-2, he'd have probably Infestors on the way, a bunch more Queens, or even Static Defense. Like, he would have had time to get that.
Yeah, he would have had a lot more options in just a couple of minutes' time. Next map is going to be Bridgehead as well. So another one of these interesting maps. True, I'm sure True loves this kind of map because you can proxy a hatchery. But let's go into the game and get things started on map number 4. Down here in the bottom right-ish, we do have the Zerg players still 1 game away from making it to the semis. It is True.
Ish. I like that.
I almost made a mistake there. And here to the mid-left, there's the mistake. We do have the blue Protoss player. He is Liquid HerO. Has to win 2 more games, make it to the semis, keep that dream alive. And what do you think we're going to see from HerO on this kind of map, Todd?
Hopefully not a 7-gate of any kind, with or without a robo, because so far True, it seems like he just demolishes this kind of build anytime you throw it at him. So I don't know, like on this map, I think you can definitely try to play a little bit more standard and, you know, be okay as long as you do it well. You can do some light aggression early on, you know, and try to force units out of the Zerg, and then from there, you know, play Blink with sentries, scout a lot, see what you're up against, and then from there decide.
Yeah, that would make sense in this kind of map. I'm kind of surprised we don't see that proxy hatchery from True either. You know, you can kind of put it around that back door to the natural and DPS it down with Spinecrawlers or Lings and create a lot of havoc.
The thing is, it's super expected now, and people don't really go like very quick Nexus all that much anymore. But by the look of things, HerO is still gonna do it. Gateway Nexus with no gas.
True sees it all as well, but instead he's just gonna go for that early hatch. Maybe even double hatch before pull by the looks of it.
Would you have risked it?
I would have.
Up 2-1?
I would have. You know, you got that space.
Yeah.
This kind of map, and he already sees that probe go towards the natural.
There is a lot of actually pro players like that were telling me at Home Story Cup. They are telling me that they think it's unstoppable if you go Nexus. And I saw somebody, I forgot who he was, very close to holding it.
Oh, yeah.
with a forge and a wall of cannons. And I thought that if you cancel the Nexus after you see that there is the proxy hatch and use that money to make a lot of cannons, then I think you should hold, and then you're in an okay position, because even though there is a hatch outside of your base, you can expand, and the Zerg delayed is on tech. So even though you can expand behind this and inject, you're still in the game. It's better than dying with the Nexus on your natural.
Yeah, that's absolutely true there. I kind of like Arium's one base immortal style there. That was a lot of fun.
I'm not sure if it's a long-term thing though. Like if
Probably not.
Coming.
I think it might be a little too, gimmicky, I guess would be the word.
A one-time thing.
The one-time thing. He gets figured out.
Is True gonna go again for a double gas here? Nope, just the one.
There's also that Zealot coming, so he's probably a little worried about taking some damage early. Ghost drone floating on through it.
I wonder how HerO's gonna play this one tech-wise. Like, I don't really see him go for like a quick Twilight and like some blink play.
Beautiful surround from True. Not gonna be enough though.
I think a Stargate or Robo is like more what HerO likes to do.
Yeah, I think you might be right there. And taking down 3 drones like that's actually huge at this point.
Yeah, that's
that one Zealot did enough.
That brought True down to 20 walkers against 22 here for HerO.
Stopped all that mining time as well, which is so crucial at this point. And I wonder, it's going to be the Stargate this time around.
Yeah, and we don't really see Phoenixes anymore, right? Like
No.
It seems like it's all about these oracles nowadays, where you can, especially against a Zerg like this on 3 hatcheries, that opened 3 hatcheries early on, he killed 3 drones. So he weakened the economy of the Zerg by quite a bit. Behind this, Oracles flies in, a base, he sees that, say, for example, there is 1 Queen, 1 Spore, he can go to the next one. It's going to be super hard for True to have Spores ready in every base without wrecking his economy. So then you don't even have to fly in, you're just going to, snipe some drones from the corner. And with that probe still being a hidden land on the map, if HerO was to do, some additional gateways here and, some Zealot attack with this, could be quite deadly.
Yeah,
it seems, by the way, that every game he takes the 3rd gas by itself, and mine
It is interesting, right? Now, this Overlord didn't get to see too much either. There's a Stalker waiting for it, so he's going to have no idea the Stargate is coming.
How many Oracles are we going to see this time? That is a very important question.
I'm going to say 2. 2 this time around.
Yeah?
That's my guess.
Okay.
Overlord's going to get a peek of it here. Let's see if we see a commitment to Spores this time around. There it is.
I'm pretty sure, with how the previous game went, I'm pretty sure that this time he's going to want to be more careful. He's actually adding a bunch of Queens here. 3 more already, so maybe he doesn't want to get Spores.
That's interesting. Are they going to be out in time, though, is the next question. It's like they're getting close to be...
And there is no second Oracle. Oh my god, if HerO knew that there is no Spores and there is Queens instead, I think he'd go for 4 Oracles again.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, and it wouldn't be a bad choice either. 2 Queens are out here, though, so he chose the wrong base, the mid base. The main base, his Queen, is a little bit later. 2 drones.
20 links.
Wow.
When speed is 3rd through being completed here. Void Ray is going to start to snap some of these overalls around this base as well as the Forge here. So I do think that HerO wants to go for probably another base.
Yeah, it looks like he'd be taking that 3rd base down below. +1.
Unless he does that 7 gate 3 Void Ray. Zealot Sentry, you know that one, eh?
Yeah, I love that one. So fantastic all in there.
Do you lose ever to it? Unless you fall really far behind
I've lost to it before, yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean,
if you don't see it coming, absolutely. But look at this, he scouted out the pylon, so he's got a fighting chance there. Hiding a lot of these lings on the map as well.
So I think he wants to get a cancel on that 3rd base here, and might be able to get it.
He's investing a lot for this.
Wow. Cutting drones at 43 against 45 probes. This is going to have to work here, because if it doesn't, True's going to be in trouble. The cannon's about to go down natural. Actually, he's going to attack these rocks here.
This is interesting, yeah.
I don't think he can, it's going to take 15 minutes to...
Yeah, that's going to take way too long for them to be ever worth it. So many lings on the map here.
Oh, there's a lot of force fields to work with here. I think True needs to get a full surrounding on that army, and HerO's going to have to mess up the force fields. He rarely messes up.
Beautiful surround, beautiful force field so far. He might be just working on that Nexus would be a better choice.
Beautiful's the word.
Beautiful indeed.
Quickly locking these Zerglings away, warping in more and more sentries. He might have to force field around that Nexus because he took a lot of damage. But look at this. True's gonna have to evacuate. He invested so much into this. So behind this, he starts running back up.
I think he must be waiting, right? Because there is not enough units there for him to be worried about that. It's only sentries and a Stalker. He should have came back in once those force fields evaporated, or at least worked on that Nexus.
Maybe he thought there was still enough, and there might have been, like barely enough, I think. Look at this, how many gateways went down here. This time HerO, I'm pretty sure that he's very happy with the situation. He knows that True massively invested into this, and that he's not where he would like to be here in terms of workers. So he might just go for an attack himself.
Yeah, it looks like it might be Blink Stalker with +2 if he wants to wait that long.
Maybe Charge, but I don't think so. I think Blink even did
Charge
pretty well.
Would be interesting. I'd like to see Charge. But
Really? You'd like to see Link's dying?
I like I'm used to it now. Happens way too much, Todd. 30 more Links, 32 more Links on the way. Man, True loves his Zerglings.
Yeah. He's actually going to force more gateways. It's going to backfire big time. You do not kill these rocks.
No, that's certainly not. Here we go. Link's coming in here. Trying to do some probe harassment. Going to get a couple.
Yeah, trading some Links for some probes. We have 39 army supply here for HerO. 51 for True, but it's only Links. He's getting the Spire behind this. Okay. And since he's forced more gateways here, this is even more encouraging for HerO to go for an attack. I haven't seen too many hallucinated Sphinxes scattered across the map, but I think HerO, regardless of that, he wants to move across the map and be aggressive. He's gonna supply block True here for a moment.
Look at this.
There is only one Overlord on the way as well.
Only one Overlord. So many sentries as well. These Links are gonna have a hard time getting in here. Not looking good at all for True. I think he needs the Roach Warren.
Wow, that sentry even lived inside of the force field. It was being attacked with like 1 hit points.
He's in a bad place. You know, that Spire's way too far away.
Where's the probe? Did he kill the probe? Oh yeah, he killed it.
Yeah, it did.
There was a probe in there, so
counterattack.
HerO cannot reinforce, so actually this is buying a lot of time.
Yeah, you actually got the second one as well by the looks of things.
God.
So he's buying time here with nothing but Lings, but that can only last for so long. The moment Liquid HerO gets to True's base, he's going to shut it down.
You're the chosen one. Stay alive, my precious.
He might actually stay alive this time around.
Blink and +2 on the way here. Spire's about to finish. 1,700 gas Moonglade. He could start 17 Mutas here in a moment when he's going to have enough minerals.
That is so many, but you know, I think it might be a little too late because the Protoss army's moving across the map. It's almost.
Oh, he's going to get the Nexus? Oh, I mean, if he targeted it, I think he would have had it.
It's going to be hard with the Zealots there, though. They're going to mop up the Links pretty quick.
Yeah, he wants to keep his Links alive. He has to try and defend. He fully knows that HerO right now wants to be super aggressive. The probe made it this time, and with the pylons going down, even though Links are going to come in from behind, HerO's going to be able to reinforce. This is a very unearthly amount of sentries here.
Yeah, it is actually.
And I mean that for True.
Yeah, that is an insane amount of sentries. It's like enough to fight the Mutas by themselves. So True's going to go for more of a base trade scenario here. Probably the best choice, but can he get enough Mutas out to really make it worth it?
It's going to be tough here. I think he's produced, how many is it? Definitely 10 plus? Yeah, 10, exactly. Oh, he recalls for a bunch of Links.
I don't know. I think
this is going to buy a lot of time for the Mutas to fly into the main in natural.
Yeah, that is the Game of Thrones right there, Todd. You cannot be doing that. He should have at least gone for the main first, because now the Mutas are on the map. It's going to be so hard for HerO to move out again without getting counterattacked.
I mean, letting your third die to win the game is a pretty good trade, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd do that any day of the week. And it makes a lot of sense too. Like, he could have cleaned up the bases. He would have had a scary enough army for this Muta Link to do anything. And True, though, is still going to be very aggressive here.
Yeah, HerO still has so much. He's going to have Blink and +2 to work with to defend against the Mutas. It's going to be hard because the distance between the 3 bases is pretty large, but we've seen him in the past being able to pull it off, and later on, if he goes into something like, you know, double Stargate and a bunch of Phoenixes or even triple Stargates, he's one of the best Protosses at pulling off this type, but those Mutas are going to be so annoying.
Yeah, they're going to be creating a lot of havoc. That main, completely undefended outside of a photon overcharge. These Mutas are actually in the middle of nowhere now. A lot of them getting a lot of damage, and some of them going down.
Up to 24 Mutas, actually. Got right now, which is a massive number. Templar Archives going down. Is he going to play it old school and take to Storm and make a lot of cannons?
Maybe,
and then attack?
Maybe Archons?
He has such a massive army supply right now that actually he's pretty close to maxing out. Imagine if he did that. He just has to reinforce 1 or 2 of his bases with a lot of cannons. Probably this one because the Templar Archive's there.
There's already a lot of cannons there too. You could maybe throw down another like 10. It's going to be pretty immune to Ling, Muta. And from there, I think if he just throws down a lot of Archons.
He's moving out with a big chunk of his army, maybe trying to sandwich this.
Yeah, this could go, it could go very badly, especially if these soldiers are a little too far forward.
That is pure ambition right there, that thing forward.
Yeah, a lot of spines.
I think True would like to go around and base trade, but look, he's going to run into the other chunk of the army here just below this.
Could maybe try and fight it, forcing out a lot of force fields. Mothership.
Oh,
Going
gets
down.
it.
That's actually important. That's
Yeah.
going to stop him from recalling and defending the third again.
Yeah, even photon overcharge is in this kind of, base trade that we could see happening here are going to be very important.
Yeah,
And
look at
True
this.
is going for the full-on base trade. HerO sending a big chunk of his army back, and he's going to counter-attack here at the same time, but not the right base though. This one is pretty well defended.
Yeah, way too many spine crawlers here. He's going to lose a lot of these probes. He moves all the way back, and I think this is the perfect situation from True. He couldn't have asked for a better movement of the Protoss player.
Oh my god, Lynx and Mudas getting into the main. 27 probes are dying. More and more are going to go down. He's going straight into that other base here, where there's still a lot of fresh probes to be sniped. Plus 3 is going to get denied here by the Mudas. He's getting more Mudas
He's
in
on
the
like
meantime.
a probe killing tour right now. He just went up the bases, went from the third to the main to the natural. They're completely undefended essentially, and these stalkers are just chasing them all the way. I think this is a very poor decision making from HerO at this kind of point. Mutas though not paying attention.
Yeah, losing quite a few of them here, kind of uselessly. And HerO still being aggressive. The Stalkers are going to be caught. They can't blink too far away. They're going to go down. Not before sniping some more Mutas here, though. 30 Mutas to 24. Right now, Stalkers and Fleet Beacon plus Phoenix production is going to start out of one Stargate. That's a really sad day when that happens.
It's more ambition right there, I think.
That's a Roddy transition. Right there.
That's a Roddy transition.
He's going to hate me.
it's not a good one either. It's just going to take way too long. Mutas will be able to go toe-to-toe with the Phoenix for some time. And, I mean, so many probes went down. He's sitting at 37 workers on 3 bases.
True's only upgrade in this game. Spiddling. He's the Protoss of Zergs.
He really is, right? That is absolutely insane. But he's getting finally that flyer attack +1, so it's something. He's found the Fleet Beacon and Phoenix. He's going to
So
get
much
rid of
for
them.
that Roddy transition.
That Roddy transition failed like it always does, Todd. I didn't know Roddy enough to do that to him.
He's good. He won't mind. I encouraged you. Still trying to research here anion pulse crystals. HerO really wants to do that Phoenix transition here no matter what, but look at this. True taking a 4th base. Oh, he's already got a 4th base. He's getting a 5th base. He's even setting up for an attack here north.
Yeah, he's in a very comfortable place right now. If you had got that
Oh, these
Fleet
probes are
Beacon,
stuck.
oh man,
Look at them. Don't kill them. Oh, no, okay. I thought they were wasted supply.
just bullied by the Archons. Bit of a miss rally there. Still like so many Ling Muta up here just waiting for that counterattack again, and once again into this natural base.
38 Mutas. This is so much. I think he might just take the fight and trade him maybe a little bit. I'm surprised that True is not going for Corruptors, by the way, because he saw the Phoenix transition. So as much as he shut it down in the first place, he knows that HerO probably will still attempt to go for that.
Yeah, I think hopefully he does that soon though. Yeah, as you said. But look at this, getting us around on the 2 Archons. Another little bit of a mistake in positioning from HerO.
Against a Protoss like this holding on, don't you think you need to transition here out of True, or should you just go for like mass static defense? And
I think static defense, keep adding bases. It looks like he's just trying to buy enough time to just tear apart the Protoss. He keeps going in and out. The Protoss, the upgrade for the crystals did finish though, so the Phoenix can just be made, but does he actually have enough income to make the Phoenix? And look at that, oh, the probes.
Oh my god, this does so much damage. This flock of Mutas is ridiculous.
Way too much damage here. HerO is really just falling apart.
What's the resources lost? True's lost a bit more, but he's mining so much more. He's on 5 bases now.
Yeah, he's up so many bases. Like, considering how fewer workers as well HerO has, 38 right now.
How many probes have been killed? 71.
There's way too many.
Not enough, apparently.
No, not enough.
Here we go.
Not enough for him to tap out. Yeah, he's going to still try to stick around. I mean, if he can get a hard counter to these Mutas, Phoenix range is active, so he can kite them.
Oh, the Templar gets sniped. It was the lone Templar.
Oh, no. A couple of Phoenix going down.
True's losing a lot there. Needs to be careful.
Yeah. Oh, not paying attention with these Phoenix, though.
Blink is only so good here. You can't blink from base to base that easily. Narcon's going to be sniped here. And True being as annoying as can be here.
Being very confident with these Mutas. He's going to lose a chunk of them. I guess he's getting the damage done there. A lot more probes going down.
HerO down to 15 probes. Oh my god, his economy.
Complete shambles right now.
97 probes killed this game.
Look how many Mutas got lost. 44. That is ridiculous as well.
Worth it when glazed.
Worth every cent.
He's setting up with an attack here with the Lynx on that third base while he keeps on flying it with the Mutas. Guardian Shield's being used, but the amount of Stalkers has dwindled. It's down to 19 and 4 Phoenixes. HerO, he was in control here in this game, but he's not anymore. True, with some good base trading here and a lot of probe snipes.
Constantly sniping down these probes, even rallying Mutas into that natural base. And he's looking for it once again. He's going to start trading with the Stalker Sentry. Not enough of them here now. Getting a few of them and flying out. And he's just remaining maxed out at this point, just making more and more Mutas.
To be honest, True, he's spending his money really well and he's trading all the time that he's actually doesn't have a bank. For a guy who's on 5 bases, that's, you know, definitely a good indicator that he's been fighting a lot and trading the whole time. But I mean, HerO down to 85 supply here. Not sure what he's hoping for. He's got a few Phoenixes to walk with to try and get rid of those Mutas. He's gonna move across the map. Enough is enough. He's gonna try one final time here to go for a fight. 76 army supply to 130.
Very desperate times here, but he's got to, if he can keep these Phoenixes microed, he can whittle down the Mutas because there is no Corruptors on the map to kind of
crazy.
buffer.
Imagine all those Phoenixes kill all those Mutas over time and he wins.
If he wins the game like that, that would just be so ridiculous that it might just happen if things keep going the way they do. He's going to trade it out completely here. A lot of Spine Crawlers though, so he does have a lot of
hallucinated Stalkers here to tank at the front. So many Mutas. The damage is crazy here from True. He's gonna try to eliminate HerO, and I think he might just succeed because he's got way too many buildings on his side of the map. I don't think the Mutas should even chase the Phoenixes here.
No.
They should just go for buildings. There isn't that many left. Look at this.
Yeah, there's
about like what, 12 buildings
not
left
much
total?
left at all. Yeah.
He could have gone for the fight and crushed him, but he's like, well, do you want a base trade? Well, actually, he's gonna do
He's going
that.
to fight now, even though he could just eliminate him. So it's kind of a weird situation. Pulling the drones now, so he is going to commit to that base trade. A lot of Lynx cleaning up the buildings up here in the natural. Still, those Phoenixes picking away at the Mutas.
Yeah, down to very last few buildings here. HerO is gonna take some time here to accept that he's defeated, but not even a miracle here would save him. Down to his last assimilator. I think True's done it. He's gonna make it to the semi-finals here. HerO, he tried any way he could, but there's just gonna be too much. GG gets called, and we got a second Zerg here.
Second Zerg into the semis. Really nicely done from True though. You know, he played some great games. And that one, it was kind of drawn out, but he did what he had to do with those Mutas.
Oh man, that recall.
That recall really cost him the game. In that kind of situation, that's exactly what True was looking for, you know, like forced out that kind of recall, the kind of misplay, and then he can just base trade for days.
Yeah, that was very. I wonder what he was thinking. Why did he recall? He probably thought he could defend and then go for a follow-up attack, and I don't know.
It's really hard one.
We see everything again. It's easy for us to criticize.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we are going to have that interview with Smix on stage right now.
That's absolutely correct, Moonglade. Congratulations, Drew. You're our third semi-finalist here at DreamHack Valencia. Wait, I see you shaking your head there. Why were you shaking your head?
브루드롯 인바라 써 있길래.
He says that there's a sign over there that says Broodlord drop Imba, so he was shaking his head no. All right, well, headed into that series, True, you started off with a very dominant 2-0. It seemed to go by really fast. When that happened, entering the third game, you ended up losing that one. So just talk about the momentum of how that played out for you.
일단 그 경기들 시작했을 때 그 첫 번째랑 두 번째 경기 되게 쉽게 빠르게 이겼잖아요. 그다음에 세 번째 경기를 졌어요. 그러니까 그 경기들이 좀 빨리 갔던 것 같은데 그 경기들에 대해서 좀 얘기해 주세요.
그 상대분이 그 초반에 찌르기를 하셔가지고 제가 그걸 너무 깔끔하게 맞고 바로 역습 가서 빨리 끝난 것 같고요. 네, 또 뭐였죠 질문이?
그다음에 세 번째 경기를 졌는데 그 경기에 대해서도.
세 번째 경기 제가 저글링 들어가서 제가 좋았는데 그 빠진 프로브를 깜빡해가지고 네 거기서 좀 말렸던 것 같아요.
So he says, in terms of the first three games, I think that the first two went by so quickly because I was able to really cleanly defend against HerO's attacks. And then in the third game, I ended up losing because although in the beginning it started out great because my Lings were able to get in and do damage, I didn't see the probe that left his base. So because of that, I ended up losing that game. And let's talk about that last game because all I can say is Mutas. Your Mutas wreaked absolute havoc in that game. So
Walk us through that game from your perspective. 이제 그 마지막 경기에서는 진짜 그 뮤타로 엄청 큰 네, 많은 대박 났는데 그 경기에 대해서 좀 얘기해 주세요.
제가 그 상대분이 예언자하고 올인 빌드셨는데 제가 그거를 가스를 안 캐는 걸 보고 빨리 알아가지고 제가 출발이 좋았는데 그 뒤로 병력이 왔을 때 그때 진 줄 알았는데 네, 리콜 해주셔가지고 제가 네, 다시 좋아졌던 것 같아요.
So he says at first I felt like I was in a good position because I knew that he was going for the Oracle all-in build, but then later on when he kind of came to attack, I realized, oh shoot, I might actually lose, but then I noticed HerO decided to recall, and I think that was why I was able to win, and that's actually something that the casters pointed out. And now you're in the top 4. I know that earlier you mentioned that because of some personal issues you have going on, that this is really, really important to you. Now you have all these fans here in Valencia. What do you have to say to them?
아까 전에 약간 개인적인 사정 때문에 이렇게 우승하고 싶은 그런 마음도 욕심이나 엄청 많이 생겼다고 했는데 이제 4강 진출했잖아요. 그러니까 여기 많은 이제 팬들 앞에 계시는데 그 팬분들한테 한마디만 해주세요.
제가 원래 사실 그렇게 승부욕이 강한 편이 아니어가지고 그냥 그냥 즐겁게 하려고 왔는데 이게 개인적인 사정이 생겨가지고 무조건 우승을 해야 되기 때문에 이번 대회 꼭 우승하도록 하겠습니다.
So True says, honestly, I came into this tournament without that sort of a competitive mindset. I came here just to have fun and enjoy this tournament. But like I said earlier, I had something personal come up where I realized I really need to win this tournament. So I have a really, really strong desire to perform well here, and I'll make sure that I can win here in DreamHack Valencia for you guys. So thank you very much, True, for this interview, and best of luck in the semifinals. It's time to find out who will join True in the semifinals. Will it be Hyun or Tasia? Stay tuned after this.